is not my fault.
Oh my God.
We have a brand new game.
I was trying to contain myself. Oh my.
Let's go option 1, not safe. These dudes are insane.
And Brandon keep killing it.
Yo, what is good, creative fam? Oh my gosh, do we have what a Tuesday, right? I mean, what else can we say? What a Tuesday. What's good, creative fam? Brandon Washington here. Thank you for tuning in for this bonus little episode of, I guess, Uncensored. Yo, I had started getting some signs that this was going to be a very busy day a while ago. And I know a lot of rumors started to drop, but yo, what they say? Clubs going up on a Tuesday. Y'all, we got new cameras from Canon. We got new cameras from Red. Hell, we got new cameras from Apple. It's a crazy week. And so I am super. What the heck are y'all talking about? Cam Mackey leaked something. How the heck did Cam Mackey leak something? Cam Mackey ain't leaked nothing. I don't believe you. But yo, it is pretty crazy right now. If you're in the camera space, if you love filmmaking, you love videos, you love all this kind of stuff, today is a busy day. I can tell you a lot of stuff started breaking to me, in the middle of yesterday. I got a lot more information and obviously couldn't talk about hardly any of it, but in a very real way, my head exploded yesterday and I still had work to do because I had an edit that had to be done today because it's due tomorrow. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. We are not here to talk about what may or may not be happening tomorrow, okay? I need y'all to help me finish through this week. So we're going to try to focus on what happened today. He had it on. Listen. Oh my gosh. All right. So today we're gonna be hanging out. We're here to chat. I'm here for y'all to throw your 2 cents in. If you have any thoughts and opinions on what dropped today, this show is all about us just literally sitting here, hanging out, chit-chatting, whatever. I'll also let you guys know, I've been cramming an edit all day. So I have not had a chance to look at any of the C50 videos that have come out. So we're definitely going to hop in there and try to take a look at maybe a couple of the C50 videos. Maybe y'all let me know which ones are y'all favorite ones. If so, I'll go ahead and put those up on stream. Maybe we can watch a few of them together. But it's a crazy week. And from what I've heard, the week is not done. All right, I know the week's not done, but I've heard also through the mill that there might be some even extra stuff going on this week. As we know, a lot of people just pulled up to Condo. A lot of people are flying in today, I believe, to Seattle. I think is where they're having it. I don't know if that's supposed to be public knowledge, but everybody's posting on their stories, so I don't care. But a bunch of people are flying into Seattle right now. I can only imagine if you are a Sony executive or you work for Sony and for whatever reason you've got creators who are showing up and they have coverage coming out for all these other cameras. So absolutely crazy. So if you're Sony, hopefully you got something you've been planning that you've been keeping on the low, you've been keeping it a secret, and you're about to get ready to drop it. People are texting me like crazy because they know we're about to get ready to we're doing this. So if you're Sony, hopefully you got something planned, something good's coming. If you are a Canon shooter, I know you're happy. If you're a Red shooter, or you've been thinking about becoming a Red shooter, I know you're about to be even more happy. And other brands will probably be happy maybe later on this week. We'll see. But yo, shout out to everybody in here. I'm trying to get to as many of these as I possibly can. Let me see. Okay, cool. I got to just keep track because I got so much messages coming through right now. But shout out to a couple people I see in here. What's good, Carlos? He says tomorrow is round 2 for sure. I don't know what Carlos knows. But he says tomorrow's round 2, but might be. What's up, Logan? He says, whoever blasted Cam, I hope you and your ma have a horrible dinner. Yo, we got to take care of Cam. Cam is our boy, all right? Cam is our boy. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you in here. What's up, Gus? Good to see you in here. Carlos says the iPhone just killed all the blogging cameras. You know what? I am honestly in kind of an agreement with you there, Carlos. I think that the iPhone launch, I didn't get a chance to watch all of the whole Apple thing, but I tuned in right towards the end, normally when they do the iPhone stuff. And man, the new iPhone 17 and even the regular iPhone with the new front-facing camera looks absolutely crazy. So I think a lot of people are going to take the iPhone way more seriously. Hold on, I got to change one thing real quick. All right, I had to grab the projector remote control. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some of this new news. Shout out to the subscribers coming in here. Man, y'all are blowing up the chat. I cannot keep up. I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with the chat as best I can. I just jumped to the bottom. We're going to just try to keep it moving. Gus says the real question is, what did you order? Okay, so some of you guys might have saw over on my Instagram that I bought something. I bought something today. You know, here on the show, we typically have this deal where we're like, are you talking or are you buying? Because a lot of people like to talk. And let's be real. Some people are out here talking about what they want, or they'll say a certain camera's trash, but they actually have no interest in actually buying a camera. They're literally just going to talk about it and tell their experience on it. I put my money where my mouth was. I told y'all there was a very strong chance that Canon was gonna do what I wanted. Oh my gosh. And the super chats. I ain't gonna get through this episode. Y'all not gonna let me say nothing. Oh no.
Carlos Quintero super chatted $50. R50, no need to switch systems for us RF users. Are you talking or buying?
R50, no need to switch systems for us RF users. Are you talking or are you buying? Well, Carlos, I appreciate that $50 super chat because you just helped me out, because I'm definitely buying. Look, I put in my order pretty much as soon as they went live on B&H. I know I've talked to some people over at Canon, and basically what they're saying right now is that orders that come in now probably won't ship until November. That's probably when the cameras will be available to actually ship out. But I know a C50 is almost a dang near perfect camera for me. Now, I'll tell you guys a few of the things that really made the C50 stand out to me. One, let's be real. It has the RF mount, which I am so invested in the RF mount. I've been telling y'all how I want to switch from the RF mount, but I just can't seem to do it. And I got to be real with you. Canon just made it even harder. So I put my order in hoping that I can get one of the first C50s that come out. Whether I choose to keep it or not, because I have not actually got a chance to shoot with the camera, I just know that if I put my order in right now, that is going to guarantee that I should at least get one by November time period. So that's the reason why I put my order in. But there's a few things about this camera that really has me like really excited. One, is the full frame sensor. At first, for a long time, a lot of the rumors were saying that we were not going to get a full frame sensor. We were talking about getting something completely different. Now we got a full frame sensor. It has a massive fan in it, which means that this camera should not overheat, which for me is incredibly important. The camera also is a part of the cinema line, which means you're going to get a lot of the same benefits that you get with the C80 and the C400. And I mean, let's face it, like the Canons work. They get the job done. They're hardworking cameras. And I have been looking for an FX3 for myself for a long time. I just know I can't personally get the FX3 because it's Sony and I don't want to invest in E-mount lenses and I don't want to go the Sony route. So this seems to be sort of the best option for me. I'm reading y'all's messages. And so this seems to me that like it might be the FX3 camera that I've been looking for. Now, if y'all are looking, I see a couple of y'all are like, where's Jarrell? What are his thoughts? Jarrell's not here today. I'm in the office by myself. I typically, just so y'all know, like this office is my office. This is where I work out of for my video production stuff, as well as I do all my YouTube stuff here. This is obviously the new office. The older one was the same way. It was just my space. And Jarrell normally just comes in on Fridays and we do the show together. Now, we've done some bonus episodes here and there. We obviously travel and go do all the trade shows and stuff like that together. So if you guys want to know Jarrell's opinions on a lot of this stuff, which go on his Instagram. He's been pumping out content on his Instagram too. By the way, go give him a follow. You can definitely find out what his opinions are. But when it comes to the C50, it feels like, honestly, if you took the C50, you put an E-mount on it and you called it the FX3 Mark II, I don't think anybody who shoots Sony would even be mad at this camera. Like, this camera seems to do a lot, and having things like the dual base ISO at 800 and 6400 is such a good place to be, which means that this camera is going to work well for low light performance. And so, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the C50, or at least what I've seen about it. A couple questions coming in. Ezreal says, did you let down your Lumix sister wife easy? So listen, y'all gotta understand, I don't rock with just one camera almost ever. Now, the fact that the C50 has open gate is going to change some things. I ain't going to lie to y'all. It might change some things. But I still love the Lumix. In fact, the video that I shot yesterday was shot on the Lumix. I live streamed on the Lumix S12. And the Lumix still has a few things over the C50. Like, for example, the S12 can shoot open gate at up to 60 frames per second. We currently can't do that on the C50. At least that's my understanding right now. So, yeah, there are still a lot of reasons to still like the Lumix systems, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Canon did their homework on this one, and we gotta talk about the price point. I mean, I was ready for this camera to be $4,200, $4,500 with the top handle. I was ready for it to be that much, and to come in at under $4,000 with the top handle, so you're cheaper than the FX3 at a 7K open gate sensor is absolutely wild to me. And so I gotta say, off rip, the Canon seems really good on paper. Now, obviously, Canon is way more selective with who they let look at their cameras before they come out. So you're not gonna get like the ultimate, like, in my opinion at least, you're going to get people who can, they pick and choose who they want to get, like most brands are going to do. But I hope that the reviews, because I haven't got a chance to watch them yet, I hope that the people are being very honest in their reviews. You guys let me know. I got to say something in honor of Jarrell. We got 200 people right now watching live and only 23 likes. Do me a huge favor. Y'all, if you're not, look, I bought the camera. Can I at least get a like on the live stream? 200 people watching right now and 23 likes. Hit that like button for me real quick. Make me feel a little bit better about my purchase. Oh my gosh, what's up, Garcia? He said, Sony shooter here. The C50 is fire. No one can hate. Look, I don't think Sony shooters can even be mad about this camera. I really don't think they can. Oh my gosh. Carlos says, I'm going to sell my Lumix S1 too. You know, I can understand why, especially for someone like Carlos who has a bunch of RF mounts. So yeah, I can totally understand why you might want to do that. I'm gonna hold. I mean, I got to be honest. Like Lumix has let me borrow it, so it's not mine. So I ain't got nothing to sell. But hopefully Lumix will let me still keep using it. I do like the camera, so fingers crossed. Oh my gosh. So Brandon says, "Where's Lumix dominance? Are the tools they offer and make shooting easier and mistake free." I will say that Lumix still offers amazing tools inside the camera. So that's going to be really dope. I don't think Lumix is going to go anywhere. I think if you have a Lumix, you should still be happy with your purchase. If you own an FX3 though, you're definitely probably looking at Sony and saying, "Yo, we need you to come on with it." Cause man, it's gonna be rough moving. All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through these chats. Y'all's chats are going crazy and I cannot keep up. I'm doing my absolute best. Mark says, I disliked because we can't talk about the ZR rumors. We're not talking about it. Not today. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel, because we'll probably be doing another live stream tomorrow, because I got a feeling tomorrow will be worth live streaming as well. I'm just saying. Cyrus says, does anyone actually show the open gate footage? I think Sam Newton's video might have been. Most of his footage looks shaky unless it was on a tripod or locked off. So I think the one thing we're going to have to remember with the C50 is that it does not have IBIS. And so for shooting handheld with such a small camera, you're going to have to like get used to, like, it's not that it's like, I mean, I'm not saying get used to it being shaky, but you're going to have to use a gimbal. You're going to have to use something to stabilize that camera, because that's one of the reasons why a lot of big cinema cameras don't have IBIS, but the shots still look good when they're handheld, is because the cameras are so much heavier and they're so much bigger. It's easier to actually stabilize it even in a handheld environment. But when the camera does not have IBIS and you have to hold that thing, it becomes way more difficult. So, hold on. Sorry, I just got a message. Yo, a video comes over again. Can you ask how they would have saw it? Hold on one second. I'm getting a message. Okay. Yeah. I got you. All right. So if you're going to be shooting with a smaller camera and it doesn't have IBIS, honestly, I'm going to say wait that camera down if you're going to hold it handheld, or otherwise you are going to get that shaky footage in there. Like, that's just going to be part of it. Brandon Talbot said those condo attendees are probably getting a ZV-E1 Mark II or something. Bro, that would make me so mad if that's what Sony comes out with. So let's see. Brandon says, I love my S1R2. It's just a damn good camera. It is. I mean, the Lumix systems are still great. I don't think anybody should feel any kind of way about the cameras. I think, you know, if you have a C50, like, you'd be happy. If you have the Lumix, you should be happy. The only people I think that should, you know, have something to say about this in a way is if you shoot Sony. I think it's time that Sony now go ahead and release the FX3 Mark II. Brandon just jumping in. Love the new Canon C50. No cripple gate for once. APC, bro. Canon hasn't had a cripple in their cameras for a minute. The C80 didn't have a cripple. The C400 didn't have a cripple. The R1 didn't really have a cripple. Like, they've been doing pretty good for a minute. So we got to give Canon their due. Canon is doing good work right now. So we got to be happy what we get. So this camera is going to be pretty insane. Like I said, I haven't got a chance to see any of the footage. So I do have my laptop here. I need to make sure I don't have anything on this laptop that's going to get me in trouble. Hold on, let me make sure. Just make sure I ain't got nothing up on this laptop that could possibly get me in trouble, because Lord knows I don't want the smoke from anybody Let's save that. So make sure that goes away. We just want to make sure we're good. All right. We just want to make sure we're good. So do you think that the price of the C50 is okay from Gamer Lancer? Dude, I think that the C50's price is super competitive. Like super duper competitive. Because at sub $4,000 for a 7K open gate camera, this is such a really good price. And if anything, I think your second comment just came in here. FX3 should be cheaper when we get the FX3 Mark II. I think that Sony should actually be looking at the FX3 right now and figuring out how to get the price down on it. Because when you're just looking at apples to apples, you're just getting way more from the C50 than you are from an FX3. And for the price, it's got to come down. So I'm totally happy with the price. I was actually one of the few people that were saying, don't put indies into the C50 because I thought it would take the price up too high. Because, and also it would obviously make the camera bulkier, and it's already a pretty chunky boy. But dude, I'm okay with no internal indies, and I'm also okay with the price point. I think sub $4,000 is an amazing price point. And so that to me is kind of the best way to go. What are you using for cine lenses? For me right now, my cinema lenses changes constantly. I have Zine Set, I have DZOs, I have the Blazars for anamorphics, and then re-rent depending on what the job requires. So for me, it's not really about specific cinema lenses. Is kind of what's needed for the project. But I will say right now, my go-tos have been the DZO Katas. They're the zooming cinema lenses. Those have been really great, as well as just being able to, rent whatever I need for the project. The chat is popping. Love hanging out with you guys. All right, question just came in. Let me try to grab this one. What do these cameras have? Why don't these cameras have external recording to SSDs? When they have such demanding bit rates? Lumix so far has done it right. Nikon is close. I am inclined to agree with you here. I do wish that a lot of these cameras would have external recording, especially to an SSD. I know that Condor Blue came out with a top handle that actually allows you to plug in a SATA SSD into it, and then you can record directly to that. I wish more camera companies would implement outputting to an SSD, especially as the data rates continue to get bigger. So I agree with you. I don't know why they don't do it. I know that a lot of them are leaning in on the CF Express Type B cards in order to handle some of their higher data rates. I also feel like, at least in my opinion right now, that might be another reason why the C50 has that CF Express Type B while the C80 has the SSDs, because you are, now on a 7K open gate and you're shooting at these higher bit rates as well as all the different raw codecs. It's kind of important to have at least CF Express Type B, which I am glad they did that. If they would have put SDs in here, it would have limited a lot of what was possible. All right. Come on, don't be trash can. Smash that like button. 85 likes right now. 240 people rocking with us strong. So we're having a good time talking about it. Boy, you really booming for that format of the show. What? Boy, you really booming with that format and show. Oh, appreciate it. All right, question. Does the C50 have a mechanical shutter? Ooh, I don't think it does. I don't think it does, Logan. Somebody in the chat can probably let us know, but I'm pretty sure that it does not. But it does have an electronic shutter, so it can take an actual still. It's not like the C80 where it just pulls a still out of your video frame. No. What are people saying? No. Oh, people are answering the question. No. James Brown says, Sony, you have devastated your user base. Oh my gosh, I lost it. You have devastated your user base. We are a lower rate system than Canon, which is hurting. Waiting on Sony to crush Canon. I think that Sony still could do it. The only problem is if Sony would have released a 6K FX30 before Canon released the C50, it would have been a smash. Look at what we got. Canon still doesn't have anything. But now, if Sony just catches up to where Canon is, it now looks like you're just really just playing catch up. So it kind of is like it kind of sucks. I think they have a harder pill to, it's going to be a harder pill to swallow, even when they do actually come out with whatever the FX3 Mark II might be. It's going to be harder. Cyrus says, selling my camera gear and buying 10 iPhone 17 Pro Maxes instead. Bro, so I don't know if y'all saw in Apple's deal, we're going to talk about the iPhone here in a little bit, but in Apple's deal, they actually showcase like putting a bunch of iPhones together, like a bullet time kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that when 17 days later use that same system, I'm willing to bet you Apple like worked with them to let them almost beta test that new feature. Because I thought it was weird that they used the iPhones in that array, especially because like trying to sync all that files together kind of would have been annoying. But now understanding that like they might have already had Genlock to be able to actually like sync all that footage together makes a whole lot more sense. So you know what? Buy your 1017 Pro Maxes and you'll probably create more content than most of us. Oh my gosh. Marty says, is your hoodie color hinting at something you might be saving for tomorrow? Y'all gotta stop reading into every little detail. That's all I'm gonna say. 17 days later. It's not 17 days later. What is it? 28 years later? Is that what it was? 28 years later? Whatever. All right. My bad. Dang. Y'all don't understand what's happening right now. I am getting sensory overload. See? I got freaking, the chat is running wild right here. I got 256 people commenting at one time. I'm trying to say stuff correctly and getting it wrong. And I got news in front of me. There's too much going on, okay? There's too much going on. 28 years later. My bad. Ezra says, sorry, just a fake filmmaker here. What is Genlock? So the way Apple explained Genlock was a lot more like kind of like time code, like the ability to sync a bunch of stuff together. And they said like with graphics and stuff. The way I've used Genlock in the past is it basically allows you to synchronize exact frames. And so the way we've done it is we've used it with like the Komodos and a LED wall. And so you can actually get your Komodos frames and the actual like LED walls frames to sync with one another. So that way everything runs in tandem. That's how we use Genlock. The way that Apple was talking about it is, I guess, sort of the same, I guess, with the iPhone and whatever this new attachment is with the iPhone. I feel like they were kind of like talking about it almost like it was time code, but it wasn't time code specifically. So it's just a way to sort of like connect multiple devices together via a frame. So it's not off of just time and something you're going to do in post later. It's something that you can do in frame in real time. Also, the iPhone now shoots ProRes RAW. So, everybody is offering some form of RAW. We are in a crazy time period. Can we just say that? We are in a crazy time period. All right, so let's I'm trying to keep up with the chat. We're going to keep moving. All right, so I want to go in, and I have not seen Peter McKinnon's video, but I have been told by everybody Peter McKinnon has one of the best videos, which makes sense. I mean, he always does like one of the best Canon videos. So let's take a look and see what's going on. I'm going to try to pull my laptop screen in. I have not done this on a individual stream before. So hold on. Let me clear my desktop off because I do not need to get in trouble. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. I'm not trying to dox myself. I'm not trying to, get in trouble for nothing. Let me just clear my desktop off, and then we'll take a look at some dope videos and see. We'll see who's released some of the best footage. By the way, in chat, y'all let me know who has some of the best C50 content out there right now. I need to know ASAP. Let me know who has the best C50 content on the internet. I've been told Peter McKinnon's video is the best right now. Who are y'all saying is the best? Brandon says it was good. He took shots at the FX3 too. Next to Jarrell. The only other person I know who's probably been hurting the most by the release of the FX3 is Peter McKinnon. Peter has probably been struggling because we know he's not going to shoot on anything else. So the fact that he hasn't been able to like get a camera like this is probably big time. So does he only have the one video? Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, his video is 15 minutes. All right, we might do a little scrubby scrub. We might. All right, let's see if I can't get let's see if I can pull up this here. Alrighty. We got this in. Boom. And then if I play this, will this come through? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this audio.
Canon C.
Oh, I think it's just coming through my speakers. All right, yeah, let's see. Let's see. All right, let's check out what Peter did.
50. The FX3 killer.
Oh my gosh, how you gonna start the video saying the FX3 killer? That's diabolical. That is a diabolical first move. I ain't gonna lie. That is a diabolical first move. I got the speakers turned up on my laptop so that way it'll come through my microphone. But FX3 killer, that's crazy.
What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to yet another video. Today, we are obviously talking about the new release from Canon, the C50.
Yes, my bloodline runs like a stream of my bloodline. Goes wild and free of my bloodline. Just like a river is flowing. Oh, my bloodline runs like a
Bro. All right, I gotta say this really quick because I know a lot of y'all probably gonna agree with this here, but you can feel the lack of ibis. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This you can feel a little bit of the lack of ibis in the shots. And again, it's a small camera, right? It's a super small camera, so it's going to be tough. It's just flat out. It's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to stabilize this camera handheld, but yeah, you can definitely feel the lack of ibis.
You've probably seen the rumors online. You've probably heard the whispers. It's all true.
You probably have heard the rumors. Chat, heard the rumors, bro. Somebody leaked their video yesterday. What do you mean heard the rumors? Yeah, you could tell he shot this video last minute because they leaked the crap out of this camera. Absolutely leaked the crap out of this camera.
It's all real, be it that this is the first video you've seen or a different one that you were watching before this, but it's here and it is sick. The shape of this camera, the specs of this camera, the form, it's just literally everything about this camera is sick. I am switching everything to this.
Okay, is that really saying much though? I mean, I love Peter McKinnon's content, but he says I'm switching everything to this. It's because it's the newest Canon camera. Like, I love you, Pete, but I feel like almost every time Canon releases a new camera, he's like, I'm switching everything to this camera. R5, I'm switching everything to this camera. R5 Mark II, I'm switching everything to this camera. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the camera. It's just really funny.
Before I get a little carried away, we'll settle down, simmer off there, Pete. Let's talk a bit about why this is such a special and important camera, coming at a great time.
Ooh, what lens is that? Did y'all see that bokeh in that wide shot? What lens is that right there? That's what I want to know. What lens is that? The camera's dope, I get it, but what lens is he using? Do y'all see that swirly bokeh? Do y'all see it? Am I the only one picking up on this lens? I'm digging that lens a lot.
Imagine being able to build an app.
Oh, wait a minute. What account am I logged in? Why am I getting ads?
Just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Nah, I don't need no ads. What in the world? I need to get in my premium
What
account.
do you think?
I was gonna ask you, what do you think?
I haven't used it yet. I just set it up. You've used it for a little bit now. Do you think?
Oh, they got
your like new daily vlogger, like what I would use the FX3 for?
My thoughts were
Maddie with
putting
the
R5
anamorphic.
Mark II on the shelf and using.
I
this
do have
as
YouTube
both
Premium.
my
I'm just logged into the wrong account.
Cinema camera and photo camera when we go on trips and just
Rachel.
make things for YouTube. So essentially,
And photo camera, did you say?
I did not forget to pay my YouTube bill. I'm gonna need y'all to hop off. All right, hop
I
off.
use the FX3 or A7S3 for photos, and it's 12 megapixels.
And no one notices.
And
though.
nobody cares.
I've never said anything.
Nobody ever is like, wait, is that 12 megapixels? Nobody can tell the difference ever.
no, I just think like space is important, and this is.
Okay, I'm gonna skip because
More perfect. It's just
don't get me wrong. I love Peter. I love Maddie, but yeah, it's I know they're gonna love the camera. I want to see your footage. How do I get to the footage?
Anamorphic. It's not
This is great.
This
This is how I watch YouTube videos for real.
Like your computers will melt with this bitrate. Or I was gonna give you this.
Wait,
big,
what?
Raw open game.
Just give me the open.
Just give it to me. It's easy for you. 7K raw open game.
Atlas Mercury's for sure.
A bit rate that is to the moon and back. Like your computers will melt with this bit rate. Or I was gonna give you.
Okay, is it just me or does it feel like every time like we get like massive upgrades in computers, the camera companies just eat it straight up? Like we get a massive bump with like the new M series, and then the camera companies are like, oh, perfect, say less. And then they give us like crazy bit rates that now just like completely eat up all the new storage or all the new bandwidth that we just got by buying a brand new computer. So it makes my new computer feel like my old computer just because the new camera decided to eat up more of it. I might be the only one.
This next point about the bit rate, but Maddie specifically asked if he could say it because he's pretty mind blown.
Can I say it?
You can go ahead and tell them. The bit rate for like the highest quality, not raw, is 1,730 megabits per second, which is like I shoot an H.265 normally 100 megabits per second. Wait, does that make sense?
Oh my
100 megabits.
gosh.
That's like a 17 times the data, and you can only.
Okay, chat. I'm gonna scrub through and see if there's any more just straight footage. Telling me the specs on the camera, I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. We got some footage.
Super 35, you have 16 stops of dynamic range. So we drove down to Niagara Falls to post up because my friend's tour was stopping in town. His band is called Kaleo.
Who else? Y'all let me know who we're going to next. What video are we gonna go to next?
Spend together, be that it's in Iceland or.
He said y'all can't handle the bit. We can't.
This would be a great opportunity to test
We can't.
the low light of this camera. Be it that he was playing a festival and he was the closing gig, so was the latest, which meant I could actually test this in the dark.
It's all a plot to make us buy new computers.
That's on board. This has
Bro, they're working together.
And I turned off the
CVP, is that where we should go to
This
next?
is just raw, but it looks clean. Just
Yeah, we should probably check out CVP.
corridors on his way to the stage. Looks good for not even having it on any gimbal. Just turning
Son of a bit,
and
that's a
walking
lot.
behind.
Logan, you never fail.
An RF lens, so I didn't have to worry about it not tracking. Now, when we switched over to an anamorphic, obviously that was a lot more difficult to shoot because this screen, like I mentioned earlier, is hard to see in the dark, especially when you're trying to pull focus and the lights of a show on stage are changing every 8 freaking seconds. But I think we definitely got enough to show off what it's capable of at night in a situation like this, which I don't find myself in all the time, but it's nice to push these cameras, and especially when you get them, see what they're capable of. That was our very first time.
All right, so I gotta be honest. Pretty good video from Peter. Expect kind of what we would expect. Him loving the camera as he should. Canon ambassador or whatever. The first thing I gotta say I felt out of that was you can feel the shakiness. Like you can feel the lack of IBIS in that camera. Now you just got to know how to use it, but you can feel it. And I think in that smaller body, it's going to be very noticeable. It's going to be very noticeable. All right, because y'all kept talking trash to me, I switched accounts. So we should be good now. I've got my actual pro account on here, or my deal. So y'all told me to go look up Canons. Is this a Canon video? Oh, actually, no. Y'all told me to look up CVP. Let's go to CVP. I think CVP has some of the best videos when it comes to new cameras.
Jake here from CVP. This is Canon's latest cinema EOS camera, the C50.
Let's do it.
And it's actually one of Canon's smallest cinema EOS cameras to date, and is clearly aimed to compete with the Sony FX2 and FX3. In this video, we'll be taking...
Okay, don't let that have to compete with the FX2. I get it, but don't let that have to compete with the FX2.
a look at how the C50 performs, comparing it to Canon's other cinema EOS cameras, as well as the competition, and explore whether or not this exciting new camera is worth grabbing for your next project. Let's get into it. Canon were only able to send us this camera for a couple of days of testing, but we've tried to shoot as much as we could with it. We managed to take it down to the fantastic Lockswood Joust and shoot some other bits around our Brentford office to get some hands-on time with the camera.
Bro, this looks really
capturing
good.
some creative examples.
Yeah, this looks even better. Yeah, CVP is absolutely crushing it. I feel like I'm getting a chance to like really see what the camera can do.
After using the
Obviously, this is all outdoors. It looks overcast, so
using this
flat
camera for the
lighting.
same kind of shoot was
But-
a completely different experience, given how compact the C50 is and the fact that it has...
Bro, that top handle looks really good too.
The weather wasn't quite as dynamic and bright as the 17K shoot, but it's far more overcast, which is a bit of a shame. Throughout the day, we shot a mixture of handheld, on tripod, and on an RS4 Pro, and used a range
Gosh,
of
that thing
different
is so
lenses.
tiny.
Though we mainly use Canon's VCM series of primes, including their new 85mm f1.4.
Bro, Canon. I don't know if Canon's watching this. If anybody from Canon is watching this, bring me the 16mm version of this lens, please. Please, make that one next. Please, that's all I want. I want the 16mm version of this
These all
lens.
provide very nice, clean imagery, which for more video-orientated work is good. We also shot some stills with the C50, and these look great as well. They're very detailed and full of lovely, punchy Canon colours. Let us know what you think of the images we've managed to capture down below.
Dude, the images look
C50
great.
features a brand new 7K full-frame sensor, which has a resolution of 6,960 by 4,640, and a size when recording of 35.9 by 23.
All right, batteries. This is what I need to know.
It does have its pros and cons. The R5C also uses LP6, but at launch, this is one of its biggest downsides. Until more recent firmware and the introduction of the LP6P with the R52, the R5C was known for having pretty poor battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Now this new battery and new firmware has helped solve some of the powering issues that the R5C had. With the C50, as you switch between the different modes, you can see the predicted battery life changing in the top right. When out on location, we went through a good few batteries, and our first full LP6P lasted about an hour and a bit in the camera, which resulted in about 40 minutes of actual recorded rushes.
I can tell you, so I owned the R5C when it first came out, and I went through all of the problems that everybody who got it when it first came out went through, and it burned me. It burned me so bad, y'all. I ended up selling the camera. After I sold the camera, they came out with like a software update, and then when the the R5 Mark II came out, a new battery came out that supposedly solved all these issues, blah 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 blah. But I can tell you, as someone who shot on the R5C, if the battery life on that camera would have actually been pretty decent, I probably would have stayed with it a whole lot longer. But because the R5C had so many power issues when I at least had it, I moved on. I moved on to another camera. I think that's actually when I bought an FX3 at the same time. I tried to go the Sony route. I just couldn't fully convince myself to stay there. But like when I tell you, hearing that this camera right here can shoot for 40 minutes of record time and can last an hour. I remember I tried to go shoot a football game, and I went through 3 batteries before the game even started on the R5C. So this is definitely a huge improvement, and it changes a lot for me. I gotta say, this changes a lot for me. I know, Brandon, I see you in the chat right now. He says the R5C is the best. Look, it is not. I know I gave a lot of people crap, and definitely me and Jarrell got into it talking about, is the R5C the best hybrid camera of all time? I am convinced that this camera could be taking the crown as the best hybrid camera of all time. But we got to wait till we can get our hands on it. I can test it for myself and tell y'all what I think.
We also did a test in the studio where I recorded in 2K XFABC to an empty card, with the rear LCD as bright as possible and a nice full LP6P in the camera. Letting the camera just record until it died, we managed to record about 1 hour 45 minutes before it died.
Wow. An hour and 45 minutes. Now, granted, that's in 1080p, but still, if you're trying to shoot like an event or something like that, an hour of record time is crazy.
It's pretty good. In the menu, there's also a really nice function called Power Source Navigation, which shows the limitations of using the different power sources with the camera. This shows that battery-wise, if you don't use an LP6P, you will have some limitations. So if you're going to grab this camera, I suggest using LP6 batteries if you can, or an external source if you're wanting to rig up the camera a bit more and power other accessories.
That's pretty cool.
The R20 battery grip will also work with this new camera if you want to be able to run 2 batteries at the same time, and also change the ergonomics of the camera a little bit.
So I actually did this with the R5C as well. I took the R5C and I bought this battery grip, not this exact one because I think they came out with a new one, but I bought the battery grip for the R5C, which helped a little bit. But you really just, you kind of doubled your time, but it just really wasn't good. But this is really cool.
LP6, as you can have the battery door open and still record and use the camera as normal.
Oh, that means you can get some like nice.
PD rated, so you can also power the camera via that as well. Canon do their own PD USB-C power supply, the PDE2.
Wow.
You can use any 65-watt rated power supply or battery, which will certainly come in helpful. Just make sure your supply and cable can handle 65 watts. I also wanted to check if the battery life increases when you switch into the camera's playback mode when in video, and it doesn't. It seems like Canon has fixed this little trick that was possible with the R5C. Just like Canon did with the R5C, the C50 has the ability to switch between Canon's stills menu system and the...
Okay, this is a big question. So this is the question that I really want to know. How long does the camera take to switch from video to photo?
This made the R5C one of my favorite hybrid cameras ever, as both of these menu systems are excellent in their own way. The photo menu system in Canon stills cameras is really easy and fast to use, and then their Cinema EOS system is incredibly well featured for shooting video. The video system has a comprehensive range of shooting tools like the ability to use shutter speed or angle, false color, waveforms, zebras, good peaking.
Bro, this is a full-on cinema camera.
A bunch more. It's a Cinema EOS camera, so it behaves as such, and it really is a nice operating system to use when shooting video. Here are the times we recorded when turning the camera on and when switching between the different modes.
Whoa. Go back. Oh, I think he's about to give the example. Hold on.
It takes between 2 to 3 seconds to turn the camera on into either the photo or video mode. When switching from one mode to another, the times are a bit slower, with it taking just under 5 seconds from video to photo, and then about 7 seconds from photo to video.
I gotta say, man, I don't know if y'all, if you're watching this stream right now and you have ever seen CVP. I mean, obviously most of y'all probably have, but dude, CVP has, in my opinion, some of the best, they answer all the questions that you really want to know. I'm not gonna lie though, 7 seconds to switch, still kind of a problem. But I guess that's only from photo to video, it takes 7 seconds. But from video to photo, it only takes 4 seconds. So, geez, 7 seconds is that's a while. That's long enough to miss it. That's long enough to miss it, especially because you're going to video. It's not like you can like get into photo and then and take a photo real quick. Like in video, you got to still frame up, make sure your exposure's all dialed in, and then go. Bro, that feels like, that sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sucks. Mr. Camera Junkie said that's an eternity while running and gunning. Bro, 7 seconds does feel like a while. He says, yeah, for hybrid, use 7 seconds makes you miss a shot. Bro, yeah, you're gonna be you're gonna be in a tough spot. I'm not gonna lie to you. 7 seconds is that's a bit too long. I keep working on the software.
These times aren't bad and does mean you can quickly switch between the two modes if you're shooting video and photo in a documentary style shoot where switching fast is crucial. The camera also remembers.
I feel like if switching fast is so crucial, I'm probably gonna have to bring another camera. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like 7 seconds doesn't feel like a long time, but okay, hold on. Joseph says red takes forever to boot up. That is true, but it's different. The way you use those cameras are different. I will never shy away from people that say that reds take forever to boot up. They do take a while to boot up. But once you have them on, you're not turning them off. And no one is using a red like a hybrid camera. So you're just using that one thing. You're only using video. You're not switching. So that's sort of that's why I don't have a problem with the red boot up time. Now I have had moments where like my red battery died and then it was like, oh crap, I messed up because I let it die and I didn't hot swap it. So that's on me. But yeah, that really freaking sucks.
The settings across the two different modes, which means you don't accidentally shoot in log when shooting photos or a crunchy stills profile while in video. Like Canon's other modern cinema EOS cameras, the C50 is a well-connected camera. It has Wi-Fi built in, and the USB-C can be used to adapt out to Ethernet.
Oh, that's
this
dope.
means you can use the C50 for live streaming via IP. Or
Live streaming? What? Every camera needs to have more live streaming options.
Canon's XE protocol, which means it can be controlled via Canon's control apps. You can also take advantage of Frame.io's camera-to-cloud workflow.
Bro.
And it can be used with Canon's Content Transfer Professional app. So yeah, it can slide into loads of different modern workflows and existing setups that use Canon.
All right, let's quickly take a look at the new 85 lens real fast, and then we'll move on.
VCM Prime. This new lens brings the VCM range to a total of 5 lenses now, from 20 to 85mm.
All right, yeah, so we got 24, 35, 50, and 85. I'm saying, Canon, the next one we need is a 16. Let's go wide. I know some people are probably going to want a 135, and that's not a bad lens to offer as well, but I need something a little wider than 24. I have the 35, and it is my favorite non-cinema lens that I own. That lens alone is one of the reasons why I have been struggling choosing to leave the RF mount. This camera just made it even harder. I'm not gonna lie. My Raptor has the RF mount and I love my Raptor, and I was actually considering getting my Raptor switched over to the Z mount, but this camera and that 35 1.4 lens has made that a really hard decision to make. Give me a 16mm version and I am a happy Canon lens owner. Canon is building out an upgrade path like Sony has done. Good on them. Yeah, someone says there is a 135 1.4 RF. There is, but it's not part of the VCM, so it's not this size, and that's what I'm looking for. I want everything to be in this size. But specifically, I don't care about the 135. I really care about the 16. Give me the 16. It is like the 35 has like that, you know, when people talk about 3D pop out of a lens, the 35 has that 3D pop. Like it's pretty crazy how good that is. See if I can get that to pull back up. Kirk, you're a fool. Kirk, I'm not bringing your comment up on stream, but that was crazy.
We managed to use this lens not only on the C50, but also on the R5 II during our shoot at the Joust. It produces nice clean imagery, though with a slight swell to the bokeh, which is really nice.
Bro.
The VCM primes are a decent option for hybrid Canon shooters if you want something modern and clean. The C50 is a great little camera. With the insane popularity the FX3 has had, it makes sense that Canon would try and create a camera that truly competes with it.
Yeah.
It can produce lovely detailed imagery, has typical Canon colors, is jam-packed with video features and different recording formats, has solid autofocus, offers great ergonomics and audio with the included handle, and a really versatile form factor that can be rigged up or kept stripped down for smaller support equipment. It's going to cost roughly £3,360, including VAT, which includes the top handle as part of the bundle. This positions it in the current market as such. But pricing can change, so if you want more accurate pricing, please check the links below to our site. And considering everything that it offers, is pretty good value and does have some unique pros some of its competition don't have. But cameras are tools.
Wow. So this camera definitely doing some heavy lifting. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I put in my order because one, I just wanted to make sure that I could get one as soon as I want to, because that's the thing about pre-orders. You can always cancel it, whatever. But I put in my pre-order and I think I'm standing on business. I'm ready for this thing to show up. I'm ready to go. This camera looks absolutely insane. What are y'all's thoughts? I would love, I want to go through the chat real quick. So, if you let me know what y'all's thoughts are on this camera. I'd love to hear what you guys are saying. Larry says, I put in an order. Larry, you and me both, bro. It's crazy. FX3 is so expensive. It feels more expensive today. The FX3 feels wildly expensive at this point. I'm going to try to get to as many of the chats as I can, but y'all know there's 275 people in here rocking right now. OpenGate sold me. You know, I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of OpenGate thanks to the Lumix. I have the Lumix S1 too right now, and I've been using it for OpenGate, and the OpenGate is so nice. So nice. So yeah, I'm rocking with the OpenGate right now too. Brandon Talbot says this camera with some M lenses could be fun. Could be a fun little package. You know what, Brandon? I agree. The only problem with this camera, and I didn't really think, I've never thought about it this way because I am a proponent of cinema cameras. Hold on one second. No, I'm streaming. Sorry, hold on. My deal is that I've always thought that cinema cameras should not have IBIS. That's kind of been my rule of thumb, my thoughts on it. However, after seeing some of the footage on here, it's kind of been I feel like if the camera is small, it's really small, it could use IBIS. Now, I haven't seen anybody really use the electronic stabilization, or maybe they are. But yeah, having no IBIS on a camera this small might be a little bit of an issue. Obviously, the lenses that you choose to use, I'm pretty sure that Peter was using those anamorphic lenses for all the test footage that he was doing, which means the lenses have no stabilization either. Maybe the reason why CVP stuff looked a little bit not as shaky was because the lenses that they were using had stabilization. I don't know. But yeah, I really feel like, the smaller cameras not having IBIS can be an issue if you're going to use cinema lenses. Because I'm pretty sure that's what Peter was doing. I'm pretty sure he was using, Peter was using, cinema lenses on all of his, which give a great look. But man, you better figure out a way to stabilize that stuff. If it's small, then it needs IBIS. Boom, right there. FX3 has IBIS and proper autofocus. I haven't seen any problems with the C50's autofocus. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen anybody complaining that the autofocus is bad. Larry said, did you see the Peter McKinnon shots? They were super shaky. Yeah, so Larry, we just watched the video right before we watched the CVP video, and it definitely is a issue, in my opinion. I think that the shakiness on cinema lenses, handheld, is going to be a little bit of an issue. So you might want to get a gimbal if you're going to use cinema lenses. I'm just saying. Brandon Talbot says, I think it's a great camera for Canon peeps, but there's nothing in the camera that's fresh or innovative. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if there's nothing in the camera that's fresh or innovative. I mean, I guess if you're judging the camera by what other people have done, have other people had 6K cameras? Yes. Have other people, I guess 7K. Have other people had OpenGate? Yes. Have other people made cinema cameras? Yeah. But I mean, to put all this into one package for the RF mount, that is, I guess, a little innovative. But I don't know. Maybe there's no room to go innovative wise when it comes to new cameras. So yeah, maybe that's it. Dustin says, yeah, Peter's footage was definitely a lot more shaky. Yeah, I think he was just using cinema lenses, and that's just something you're gonna have to deal with. Tim says, wish they had SDI over HDMI. You know, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. I do prefer SDI over HDMI. I do think that it is interesting that they put time code on there instead of SDI. I understand why, and I understand why time code is so nice, but I do know for a lot of cameras, wherever they put an SDI port, there's also the option of doing time code instead. But in this case, they went with time code over SDI, and they gave us HDMI. I guess I'm okay with it, but yeah, it's not my favorite. I do wish they had SDI as well, but I'm okay with it. Rachel says, I'm not sold on it. I'm still team C80. You know, I still think that what's crazy about this camera is I believe that a lot of times camera companies will either nerf a camera to protect their previous cameras, or they will release a camera that makes people who already own their stuff feel worse about what they bought. Canon, uniquely, I don't feel like they did that this time. I think that they decided to go with a camera that filled a different need. And so if you own a C80, I think you should be happy with your C80. I think the C80 is still great. The only thing you're really going to be missing in this case, I guess, is the 7K open gate and some of the raw shooting capabilities. But then you have all of the ND, which is really nice. So I think the nice part about the C50 is that there's still a reason to also buy a C80 if you're in the market. So could be really nice. Justin says the C50 and the C80 is going to be a good combo. I'm inclined to agree with you, man. I think that's going to be a great 1-2 punch. You're probably going to be able to do almost whatever you want with that deal. Does the FX3 have stabilization? It does. The FX3 does have IBIS. Now, it's not my favorite IBIS, I'll be honest with you. But, you know. Brandon, it's not innovative. It's the Canon owners that finally at the present time. Well, maybe. I saw somebody loud and clear. He says this is the R5C Mark II. I'm inclined to agree. I feel like this camera got everything that the R5C Mark II would have gotten, but they just decided to kind of match the body style of the C80, so they just called it the C50. But yeah, this definitely feels like the successor. Oh, Marcus, what's good, Marcus? Marcus in here. He say, "What the hell? What the helly?" Yo, seriously, today has been that day. Today has been that day. So yeah. Steven says, or Steve, sorry, one of our amazing members. Shout out to Steve, one of our members. He says, no SDI, that sucks. Slower readout, so not so good for pulling focus. Yeah, so the only problem is I don't think this is like one of those type of cameras. I mean, while yes, it is a cinema camera, I think it's like one of those things where you're like, hey, you know, it's a reason to want to go up to the C80. So I feel like, you know, it is a cool camera. It definitely has its place, but I think there's still a good reason to want to go to the C80 if you're in the market. You can kind of get both. Kirk said Jarrell lost 10 pounds today. Maybe his wallet did. Are we living in exciting times this year? Bro, we are living in exciting times this year. Bro, it is crazy right now. The times that we're living in right now are insane when it comes to the cameras that are dropping. It's going to be a dogfight, though. Do you still prefer the body design of the FX3, or has the body... sorry, the scroll went away. Or has the body design of the C50 changed your opinion on the best mirrorless body design? You know what? That's a really, really good question. I feel like they're the same in a way. I mean, obviously the C50 is giving you more. I need to hold the C50 and see what the ergonomics are like, because the FX3's body to me was the goated body type, because it also had like everything you could possibly need, and everything was really easy to get to, and the screw points and everything was there. This camera is a lot fatter, or thicker. I guess I shouldn't say fatter. I don't want to fat shame a camera because, 2025. But this camera's, sorry, this camera's a lot thicker. And so I don't know if that's going to be an issue. But I also do know that, like, just from what I've seen today, it looks okay. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know yet. Let me shoot with it and I'll give you my answer. But, Marcus is saying the XE. So if y'all don't know what Marcus is talking about, we're gonna talk about this here in just a second. But Canon was not the only company to drop a camera today. We got to talk about what Red did. You're right, Rainey. I need to call it thick with extra C's. It is extra thick. That's what we're going to call it. He says, you realize that the C50 is lighter than the R5C and smaller. Yeah, it's not necessarily about the size of the camera. It's about the ergonomics. I think that the FX3's ergonomics is amazing. But I am saying that I don't know if the C50's ergonomics are as good. I need to hold it. Like, I don't want to say, I don't want to speak on it like I had it. Like, I haven't held the camera. So, let me shoot with it, and then I'll tell you what I think about the ergonomics. Carlos says it's not an A cam, but it can be for many people. Carlos, I think it can be an A cam. I mean, now it's not everything you need in a camera, but it can definitely be there. Oh, thank you so much. Another super chat just came in. Let's see if I can get it to pull up here. Theodore says it's not a Red, it's a Nikon. Psh, okay. Joseph says a lot of people don't know the R5C can take pictures in video mode while on standby. I'm sure the C50 will do the same. So my only issue is that photo is not a real photo. It's not using the electronic shutter. It's just literally grabbing a still from the video frame. And the quality of that is just so much lower. So while yes, the R5C and all the cinema cameras actually from Canon for that matter can do that, I just don't love that image. So I would prefer an actual photo with the electronic shutter. I would love it if it had a mechanical shutter in there too, but we can't ask for everything. Oh my gosh. All right, so FX3 price drop loading? I think so. I think it would be weird for Sony not to drop the price on the FX3 right now. And if they drop the price on the FX3, what does that mean for everything else? I would like to see the FX2 drop too. I'm just saying. FX30, drop that price too. Make it easier for all of us. You know what I mean? Heard any rumors about Canon? Or heard rumors Canon is potentially buying or buyer for Ari. Anyone with updates? I think right now, like, there's obviously a lot of conversation. A lot of people are talking about who's going to buy up Ari. I don't know if anybody is like for sure locked in, said, yes, I am going to buy Ari, or if they're making moves on the table. I think there's probably a lot of companies right now trying to evaluate the value of buying Ari. But I know that when Nikon bought Red, that caught a lot of people off guard. So yeah, it's definitely time. It's definitely time for these companies to really look at Ari, because I'm sure the price point might be available. All right, so we know that the Canon dropped the brand new C50 today, but as a lot of y'all know, Red also dropped a new camera. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When Red dropped this camera today, I was a little confused. So I don't know what I can say. JP says, bro, I'm selling all my Nikons, going back to Lumix. We know that Canon dropped a camera. We know that Red just dropped a camera. And so when I originally heard about the Red drop, I was a little confused at first, but after talking to some people, it makes a bit more sense. As a Raptor owner, I am not I have my own feelings personally. But it's one of those things. It's just one of those things. All right. So, we're going to hop onto Red's website real quick. If we go to Red's website, you will now see that there is a brand new Raptor XE. So what's crazy about it is, and a lot of this that I know, I actually haven't even looked on their website yet, but a lot of the stuff that I know just from talking to people about the new Raptor XE is that a lot of it is identical to the Raptor. Now, I know a lot of people are already asking, like, okay, what is the point? Why would Red do this? Here's the deal. Red has been on this is my opinion. This isn't what somebody told me, or no one asked me to say this or anything like this. But if y'all have noticed over the last year or so, Red has been on a get as many Reds into as many people's hands as possible tear. And what's crazy about that is, hold on, why is it showing me these features? These features are not in the Raptor XE. I should be looking at the Raptor XE page. Show me the Raptor XE page. What's wrong with your website, Red? Red's website ain't working. Hold on, let me see if I can get it here. Oh, they don't have like an actual. Oh, here we go. Learn. Designed. Okay, cool. I was seeing features that should not be a part of the Raptor XE. I want to make sure I get it right for you guys. No, that's not right. Okay, I gotta make sure. I want to help y'all out because this is not right. Some of the stuff on this website is not right. So check this out. So Red came out with the Raptor XE, and it's part of their whole new deal of trying to get as many Reds into as many people's hands as possible. So what they're basically trying to do is, like we saw with the OG Komodo that went from $6,000 down to $3,000, and then we also saw the same thing happen with the Komodo X that went from $10,000 down to $7,000. We definitely... Brandon, please share your feelings. That's why we're watching your live screen. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. They're definitely doing their best to try to get their cameras into as many people's hands as possible. Now, I bought the Raptor when it first came out. I bought the white one, or I have the white one. I own it, the white one, which I want to say I paid $30,000 for mine. Brandon knows he already put in his order. JP, I did not buy this new Raptor. Let me be very clear. I did not buy this new Raptor. The Raptor, when it came out, I paid $30,000 for mine because it was the Stormtrooper version. It then came out originally for $25,000, and then later on, they came out with the Raptor X, which gave the Raptor a global shutter sensor. I got my Raptor X upgraded, or got my Raptor upgraded to the Raptor X. So now I own a Raptor X. You can buy a Raptor X for $25,000, and it is the flagship that is Red. Now, here is where the Raptor XE comes in. The Raptor XE slots in underneath the Raptor, but it is a head of the Komodo X. So it's not the flagship, but it is right underneath it. Now, as far as the XE, the E stands for essential. And basically, the way it was explained to me is that essential is this gives you the Raptor with all of the essential needs of a full frame 8K camera without needing all of the extra bells and whistles that are currently inside of the Raptor X. Think about it, and like this is the way that I mentally compartmentalize it. I don't think this is how Apple is doing it, but like, or like how Red is doing it, but like how Apple has like the iPhone, and then they have the iPhone SE, which is like, you know, like kind of like a slightly lower version. The XE is like a slightly lower version of the Raptor, and the Raptor. Brandon Pablos are trying to stop it. Logan, chill out. So here's the deal. What you're going to lose when you go with the Raptor XE is you basically can take all of the frame rates that the Raptor offers, or the Raptor X offers, and cut them in half. So what we're looking at here, and I want to see if they have this on their website, because I'm noticing that a lot of the stuff on this website is just reused stuff from the Raptor X's webpage. Because I mean, obviously, I've looked at it a lot. But like, for example, right here, it says Raptor X and it says extended highlights. You don't get extended highlights on the XE. The XE will not have the extended highlights. It also will not have phantom track. So those are two things that are gone because it requires the dual recording onto the screen at the same time. So if we go and look at, if we actually shop the XE real quick, you can see that the XE starts at $14,995 or $14,995. And this is actually super interesting to me. I did not expect this to happen. I thought if Red released any more new cameras, they would not come with the RF mount. But I am happy to say that the Raptor XE is available for the RF mount. But if we click in on the Z mount version, you can see that you can buy the camera by itself for $14.95, and then I wonder if they have the actual frame rates or any of the specs on here. So they do. So we get 8K at up to 60 frames a second instead of 120. Let me see if I can make that bigger so that way you guys can actually read that on screen. So we get 6K at up to, or we get 8K at up to 60 frames per second. We get 6K at up to 80 frames per second. And then you get 4K at up to 120 frames per second. So if you bought a Raptor X, you basically get all this stuff doubled. Now, I think this has a lot to do with what is possible, but also you got to imagine that like in today's market, like we just saw a massive price drop from Blackmagic. And so Blackmagic is being more competitive even with their Ursa cameras. So now that we have the XE that just came out, this allows Red to be more competitive at that price point of around, $1,500. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. The $1,500 price point, I think, is pretty cool. But the Essential Bundle, this is where the XE makes me a little mad. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love Red. Y'all know I'm a Red fanboy. I own a Raptor. But I'm a little torn here. Because you have the Raptor XE that is $1,500. I'm rounding up. And then you have the Essential Bundle, which is $20, so an extra $5,000, right? But here's the deal. For $5,000, you're getting the monitor, you're getting their RF or Z to PL adapter with VND, and you get the outrigger handle. For context, if you were to just buy these accessories by themselves, like the VND, hold on, let me pull this up really quick. Because this, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a little irritating as a Raptor owner. Because I would have probably went this route. But you can see that the adapter, the VND or the electronic ND, not VND, the electronic ND, $3,500 by itself. And then the monitor, if I pull that up, I'm pretty sure that's $27. That's been on my shopping list forever to pick up one of these monitors. Where are you at, monitor? The monitor. Where the hell is it? Did I pass it? Did y'all see me pass it up? It might have been on the first page. Let me double check. Oh, boom. It's right there. So the VND is $3,500. The monitor is $2,750. And then the outrigger handle is like another... How much is the outrigger handle? The outrigger handle is another $500. So you're getting a crazy steal on these accessories. And what's also kind of insane... when you start thinking about the accessories for the XE, is I know some of you guys in the chat were talking about how, with the XE, you don't get the extended highlights. But listen, if you buy the package that's $20,000 that comes with the the E and D, you don't need extended highlights because you have basically built-in NDs into the camera. Which is like, for me, right now I've been testing out the E and D on my Raptor, and I'm in love with it. Like I'm obsessed with it. That to me makes the camera so much more usable. And so the fact that for $5,000 extra, well, first off, you're getting a Raptor, so you're getting the low light performance, the highlight recovery performance. Like you're getting so much great stuff out of this camera. it blows me away that you can do this. So yeah, hold on one second, guys. I gotta take this. This might be my kid. Check. Can y'all still hear me? Y'all can't still hear me. Hold on. Hey, do y'all get as many scam calls as I get? Because my phone don't ever stop giving me scam calls. I thought it was my kid's school. I was wrong. But yeah, so the fact that you're getting such an amazing camera, you lose the extended highlights, sure. Which I personally think that extended highlights on the Raptor is probably one of its best features. But for the price, you lose extended highlights, but you get the E and D, you get the side handle, and you get the red monitor. And you can get all of that for basically $20,000, still $5,000 less. In my opinion, if you're looking at a Raptor X and you're looking at the V-RAPTOR XE package for 20 versus 25, and then you got to still buy a bunch of accessories, bro, gosh, this is nuts. And because these are the Raptors, and this is the Z mount and it's the RF mount, you still have all the benefits of autofocus and all the other things that you get for the Raptor. So it's as a Raptor owner, if I were buying today, if I was buying all over again today, I would save $5,000 and I would buy the Cine Essential package on the XE. And then if I ever needed extended highlights, or if I ever needed to have the Phantom track for an LED volume, I at that point would just buy, I would just rent that camera for that job. Oh, I know. Thank you, Brandon. So this is sort of been my sort of opinion right now when it comes to the XE. I think the XE is a freaking fantastic offering from Red. I'm only a little bitter because I'm not going to be able to take action to it. No Garden says, what is Phantom Track? So Phantom Track is an offering from the Raptor X that allows you to shoot on an LED volume, but there's a little bit of tech that's required where the LED volume has to have a certain software running on it. But basically, you can film 2 video plates at the same time with Phantom Track. You can get the actual shot of your talent with the LED volume behind them, but then you can also have a green screen behind them because you have the LED volume portraying a green screen. And so when you're looking at the footage, it's like you're getting 2 different shots. You're getting a shot with the actual environment behind your subject, and then you're also getting another shot with green screen behind your subject. So that's what Phantom Track is. It's pretty awesome. I've gotten a chance to see it in use once. And it is really, really cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a cool feature, but the deal on the XE is pretty amazing. The Cine Essential deal is a pretty amazing deal. And for anybody who's been thinking about picking up a Raptor, but you don't need 8K 120, you're cool with 8K 60, which, I mean, I'll say 60 frames per second for most things is okay. You can put the camera in 4K to get to 120 if you need to. That is $1,500 for a Raptor to get the image of a Raptor. Gosh, like we just shot a short film, and we just shot a feature, and we used extended highlights a few times, but like for most of the time we were just shooting at 23.98 frames a second the whole time. So if you're shooting films and you want the Raptor image and you're going to be shooting 23.98, bro, you're going to be able to pick that up for $1,500. On top of that, once these cameras get into the rental markets as well, you'll be able to rent a Raptor for an even cheaper price. So, dude, that's crazy. Gosh, that's so freaking crazy. It is such a crazy deal. If you've been shopping for a Raptor, you've been thinking about getting a Raptor, this might be the best time to do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this is what the Raptor XE is. Let's go into any questions y'all might have for me. Did I say 1,500? My bad. 15,000. Y'all know. Man, that's crazy. $1,500 would be nuts. $15,000 is for a Raptor. Gosh. Crazy freaking world that we are living in. Crazy world. Oh man. That's a lot of money. You're right, Brandon. I'm not this isn't going, I'm not taking it away. It is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But I remember when I was shopping for a Monstro back in the day and the Raptor came out at 30, which basically was like half the price of a Monstro, and that like blew my brain. So I bought the Raptor. Now knowing that you could get the same Raptor image but for only $15,000, it's crazy. It's crazy the world we're living in. How often do you shoot 120 frames per second? Almost never, dog. It's very rare that I'm shooting 120 frames, especially in 8K. I don't need to shoot 8K at 120 frames a second. So, yeah, it's just, oh man, so crazy. Loud and clear say, ain't nobody shopping for a Raptor. Productions are going the other direction. I think you're right. But to that point, I think that's why we're starting to see $15,000 Raptors, dog. I think that's what it is. AI will destroy the industry anyway. Dog, okay. Y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. AI ain't gonna destroy nothing. True artists will use AI and will keep it moving. Artists who feel like they can't make it in this world will give up. But I think those who really want to do it, they'll keep doing it. That's my opinion. Been waiting on the GFX Eterna, and this is making it difficult. Yeah. So I think the Fujifilm Eterna, I almost think that camera is only going to be rentable. I don't even know if they're going to put that out for sale, because every time I've asked them about pricing and all that stuff, they get really, really like weird about it. So I don't know. AI can never replace a documentary. That's what I'm saying. I think you're always going to need people. Because even like, I mean, AI can only replicate what's already been done. And so, I mean, I think eventually, like, even people get caught up in that same deal. Like, I mean, I love Marvel, but a lot of the movies started getting exactly the same and kind of got a little redundant, got bad. And so people can make bad art. I think AI can make bad art. It's going to take people that can step in and make good art. And even it's going to happen even with, like we see it with Marvel. So, Go for Brandon says it's also not compatible with the Red Cine broadcast mode. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think a lot of filmmakers are necessarily gonna care about that as much, Brandon. But you're 100% right. The XE does have some limitations, but again, even with the Cine broadcast mode, I don't use that. So, oh man, it is tough. Real filmmakers will do it for real. There you go. Pixis 12K versus Red Raptor. I mean, the Red will probably ship before the Pixis, right? That might maybe maybe. Wow, this 15K XE is making 3 Canon C50s and 3 lenses seem reasonable. Yeah, the XE ships mid-October. That is one thing that Red's always done pretty well. It's like as soon as the camera comes out, there's normally like it ships pretty quick, so that's nice. Marcus says, for someone looking to come up just a bit from my KX, the XE is a no-brainer. Yeah, I think it's really going to just depend on like what you're doing, right? Like at the end of the day, like whatever you're creating, whatever you're shooting, that's ultimately what's going to determine what's the best camera for you and what system is right for you. I just like that the options are available. So the options are becoming available, and that's good. That's what we want. We want the options to be available. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll definitely have to see what's going on. As far as like, you know, what the camera's actually gonna do. But I mean, I obviously haven't shot with the XE, but I've heard that it's very, very similar to the Raptor, dang near identical, but just a few things have been kind of changed on it to make it more essential and give it the budget price point of around $14,995. So that's it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting. That's what we know currently about this camera. We also saw today that Apple came out with a new phone today. So on top of all of this, we did get a new phone from Apple, and man, iPhone 17 Pro has 3 48 megapixel cameras. We also got a chance to see that the new iPhone is going to be able to shoot in Apple ProRes RAW. And I think that we are living in some really fun times if you are a filmmaker or a creator. It used to be, in order to get into the game, you had to spend a ton of money to even just play. But now it feels like no matter where you are in your journey, you can pretty much find the camera that's right for you in the budget that's right for you. And I think that that's fantastic. I think that's where we really want to be. And so I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all let me know, sound off in the chat. But like, of the stuff that came out today, the iPhone, the new Raptor XE, the Canon C50, what do you think is the most exciting, and what are you most excited about next? I'll let you sound off on what you are most excited about next. But it definitely feels like everybody's coming for the news cycle this week. David says, can I just get an A7 IV? Look, we shared last week that there were some rumors that it might be coming soon, but it's not. I've heard, that it's not looking like anything's dropping at Condo, which is when you would expect it to. But hopefully we get something soon. Larry says the Osmo Pocket 4. Blue says the Canon R6 Mark III. Waiting. Joe says curious about the ZR. Bill says the FX3 Mark II. I think Sony shooters now are really going to be hounding Sony for an FX3 Mark II. I don't think Sony can go another year and not release an FX3 Mark II. Especially if the FX3 stays at the same price. They're going to need to do something. Logan says no, just take the FX2 and smile. Il says, I was looking at the KX, but this is very tempting. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be one of the hardest parts is, do you go with a KX or do you go with the Raptor? Now, granted, it is double the price almost, or over double the price, because the Raptor is $7,000, the XE is $15,000, so you could technically buy two. But it is a different sensor. It's full frame versus Super 35. It's 8K versus 6K. So there are some differences there. But it is nice that the offerings are there. Final Grade says cameras are so good now that it's getting weird. More interesting things like the Ronin 4D are most interesting to me. Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you. I love that. I love the Ronin 4D. I've seen that it's actually been picked up on a lot of films lately, even a lot of TV shows. So, yeah, I think the Ronin 4D, I would love to see what else DJI has planned. I would love to see DJI walk into the building with something new, because the Ronin 4D got a sensor upgrade a little while ago, but I mean, it's been a while. But I would love to see if DJI is going to come out with something new. Definitely the Raptor, and feels like it's my next move. Yeah, the Raptor is definitely a way to move right now. Excited about the C50. I'm not even buying. Yeah, the C50 it looks solid. It's filling a void that I currently have, which is I sold an FX3 and never filled that void. The C50 feels like it's going to fill that void for me. I'm hoping to hear about the S1H2. I honestly am not sure. I haven't heard any rumors on the S1H2 or that it's coming anytime soon. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't get every single rumor, and some of these brands are better at keeping stuff a secret than others. But yeah, it seems to be something that a lot of people are waiting for, myself included. I would love to see what Lumix decides to do next, especially because I believe their H lineup is their video focus lineup. So that would be very interesting. I'd love to see what's happening there. Man, y'all are really excited about a Nikon ZR. Y'all are hyped about it. Mike says a Komodo XE. Ooh, what would a Komodo XE even look like, Mike? That would have to be so that would be like what, a $5,000 maybe Komodo X? But if you cut the frame rates, you basically just get down to the Komodo. I feel like a Komodo XE is really just a Komodo, Mike. Oh my gosh. The Friday live stream is going to be lit because I'll actually be able to talk about everything that has come out this week, which will be nice. Shout out to more subscribers coming in. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Do you think the KX slotted camera will get an update with more Nikon goodies? I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like Red right now is being very Red. Like even the XE, while yes, technically everything that comes out from Red that has a Z mount on it, I believe it gets classified as a Z cinema camera. This still feels very Red. So I'm not really sure what that's going to look like and if they're going to bring any more goodies over. Obviously, I would love to continue to see the current Red cameras just keep improving on that autofocus. I think that's one of the biggest things that Red could bring over from Nikon, and we already saw an improvement. So that's some of the goodies that I would like to see roll down. Really boils down to, do you need SDI ports? As well. Yeah, that is a big difference between the Komodo and the Raptor is those SDI ports, if you need one or two. Osmo Pocket 3 beats the Ronin 4D. I don't know about that. That's a pretty hot take. I'm super excited about the industry as a whole, but I'm not really tempted to go into the Canon ecosystem, and the Reds is too expensive, and I'm not really what I'd use. Holding my breath for a DJI, Sony, or Blackmagic design. Yeah, I love it. I mean, granted, what happened today between Canon and Red, that actually falls pretty close into my wheelhouse. But I am interested for what everybody else brings to the market, because everything shakes up the market. Like the FX3 obviously is shaking up the market. I'm excited to see, what everybody drops, whether it's for me or not. It always shakes up the market and makes things better. I'm currently shooting on an R5, R3, and a Red Komodo, heavily considering selling my R5 for the C50. I don't know if that'd be a bad move for you. Honestly, that sounds like a really good move at this point. Come on, people. Smash the like button already. Hashtag trash can attitude. Shout out to you, Trevor. I appreciate that, bro. Hit that like button. We're at 150 likes right now. Over 200 people watching live. So yeah, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. Sony says holding our beer. Bro, I am worried that Sony's going to be holding for a while. If nothing comes out by tomorrow from Sony, I'm going to be very, very nervous, because like I said, Kondo is going down right now. And so if nothing comes out on the first day of Kondo, that's going to be very telling on what Sony has planned. Now, granted, could they technically still release before the end of the year? Yes. But why wouldn't you release when you have all the influencers at Sony Kondo ready to talk about whatever you're going to release? So to me, it's kind of if nothing comes out at Kondo, that would be super telling and kind of a letdown, I think, as someone who wants Sony to do well as well. I would buy the KXE, basically a Komodo abilities with the X sensor. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. B-Wash, do you hate Nikon? I do not hate Nikon. You know what you're doing. I'm gonna need you to stop. When is DJI releasing their mirrorless camera? So originally there was rumors that came out that said it was going to be coming September 12th, I think, which will be next week. But I'm not 100% sure. Brandon, are you capable of saying there will be no additional Canon cameras this week with a straight face? I don't know. I don't know, Marty. I do not know. On DSM-3, do you still have to worry about order of operations when plugging in monitors? So that is a SDI 12G thing. That has nothing to do necessarily with just Red cameras. That just has to do with power through 12 gig SDI. If you're using 3G SDI cables and 3G SDI monitors, you don't have to worry about it. but talk to a professional. But as somebody who has 3G monitors and 3G cables, I don't ever worry about it. Nikon didn't have a cinema line when they bought Red, and I don't think any one company with a cinema line will buy ARRI. I don't know if the price is right. I mean, because ARRI is so high end, they don't really compete with anybody's existing cinema line, even Nikon and Red for that matter. I mean, ARRIs are so expensive that it would just be the exclusionary tier. Like, even if Canon sold all their existing Canon cinema cameras, if they had Canon ARRI, that would be so high up on the totem pole that they wouldn't even be competing with their own stuff. So I think that a brand with a cinema line could still buy ARRI. The Canon C50 open gate for vertical and horizontal capture is wild. It is wild, but I heard that the limitations of that is like it doesn't do log, and like the file that it spits out is like super baked in. I think if you're doing like social content, that can be great, but I don't know if I personally would use it a lot, but it is a cool feature. I like to see people using the open gate and really working in the vertical horizontal stuff at the same time. What's up, Christian? Christian said, I just bought the DZO film RL's 21. Very excited to try it out. Did you try the luster out? I have not. I have not tried that out. Agreed. I love a hot market. Always good for us. I want to try Nikon 2 for photography, but Hassie is now a target for my secret savings account. Ooh, bro wants a Hasselblad. Bro, you want to get a Hasselblad? Psh, that's okay. I want a Leica, so I understand. I don't know if I'll ever buy one, but the M11 is so up on my radar right now. Dang, bro, I just want to spend that money. Sony is busy making a new camera. Should be ready by 3 a.m. Okay. Yo, what's up, DM Colors? He says, where's Jarrell? Jarrell is not here right now. He'll be back on Friday, though. This is just a bonus stream. There was so much news. I was getting so many DMs on Instagram, and people were asking my opinion. So I was like, let's just go live. Let's talk it out. Let's all hang out together. We can all talk about what's going on in the market right now. Brandon, Sony isn't going to invite you back, bro. Bro, I already know. They didn't invite me this year. I know I'm not going. But here's the thing. I would rather just speak honestly, say what I want to say, and if a brand is afraid about me saying my opinion, and that's why they don't want to invite me to their events, then that's fine. Because my event is my honest opinion. I think I should be allowed to say my honest opinion. And if you want to punish me by not inviting me to Condo or whatever, like, that's cool. I'm all right. one of my favorite reasons to go to Condo was to see all my friends, but I can go to NAB or, I can just fly out to wherever they're at and we can just hang out. So I'm all good without that. Guys, you guys see it set in his face. He knows it's you need to chill. Blackmagic drops the Camera Pro dock today, $299, and it adds HDMI, SDI, Genlock, timecode, mic plus headphone jack, and power to your iPhone. Bro, that actually looks really crazy. For whatever reason, I'm not sure what Apple did, but the ability to have all of those ports is kind of crazy. They're about to start using iPhones for real to be making like real movies. Like real movies. Even Apple said today that the entire thing that they showed was shot on the iPhone 17, which is crazy. Why haven't we gotten any updates on the ZVE1 like the FX3? Because they haven't, like, the FX3 still needs work, bro. Like, Sony's got a lot of work to do. I feel bad for them because I feel like Sony is in such a losing battle. Like, I feel like Sony was like criticized for releasing too many cameras, so they pulled back, but then Canon and everybody else are dropping cameras, and now they don't have any cameras to come out. And so yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough time for them possibly. Brandon says those lusters are super nice. What is your opinion on the C50 versus the R5C? Upgrade or side grade? So for me, I feel like the C50 is a pretty nice upgrade for the R5C, but obviously the R5C still has things over the C50 that makes it, more of a camera that you might want to consider. For example, the R5C still gives you the EVF if you want to use the photography side of things, because that makes it a really good hybrid camera. The switching between video and photo makes it a less great hybrid camera, but at least you have the EVF. You also go from 8K down to 7K, which, to me is not a big deal. But with the C50, you get open gate and you get all the new RAW recording codecs. You get better power. So I personally look at the C50 as a much better upgrade because of those reasons. But, if I today, I'm going with the C50 over the R5C. If you own an R5C and you're happy with it, you might not need the C50, especially if you're going to lose too much value when you go to sell it. But if you're just trying to choose between the two, to me personally, I think the C50 is maybe the better buy. Get a film Leica. I'm not there. I do want to get a Leica, but I don't think I want to get a film one. Y'all need to stop. Marty, chill out. I'm not okay. If I see anything about the yellow brand in your comment, just know I'm skipping you, okay? Bill says, Brandon, Sony ain't coming down on that FX3 price. Bro, they got to though. How if they don't have an FX3 coming out for another year, they have no choice. They have to come down. I currently shoot on the R5C and haven't even batted an eye at the C50. Yeah, I feel like that's how most people are going to be. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the C50's dual aspect ratio recording thing? I'm not a huge fan of it just because of what it's outputting. It's not log. It's a H.265. It's baked in. I think it is a really cool feature that I would like to see more brands experiment with. However, when it comes to open gate, I am one of those people that believes if you're going to produce your video for horizontal, shoot horizontal. And if you're going to shoot, and if you are going to produce for vertical, shoot vertical. I don't care if you're shooting open gate, still shoot vertical, because you're losing so many pixels by trying to go horizontal for vertical. Now, if your main output is horizontal, but you might want to get some reels out of it, then that's one of the reasons why I like open gate, and you can pull a vertical still out of it. But I am not a huge fan of saying, oh, I have open gate now, so if I want vertical, I'm going to shoot horizontal so I can pull vertical from it. I don't like that. Turn your camera sideways and get all the pixels. Couldn't they just release updates that they have for the FX3 currently for the ZVE1 since it's the same sensor? I believe it's the same sensor, but I don't believe that it is the same. I don't believe that it is the same processor. And I think that's where you're going to run into one problem. And I think memory cards as well is where you're going to run into another problem. Marty, your apology is not accepted because you know what you've been doing for the last 2 hours. What about the orange brand, red and yellow? I don't know what you're talking about. Even with the price difference between the R5C and the C50 being $1,000 to $1,500, would you still pick up the C50? That's a really good question. Jaden, that's a really good question. $1,500 difference. Oof. $1,500, the R5C might be a better buy. $1,500? Ooh, what are you giving up? You're giving up the raw. You're giving up open gate. What else are you giving up? You're giving up time code. You're giving up the better battery. Ooh, that's a tough one, Jaden. I think $1,500 will make me think twice. $1,500 might make you think twice. Logan says, does this mean that you are making a long-term decision to stay on RF? We'll talk about it on Friday. Give me the week to figure it out. I'm figuring it out because the truth is that I won't have the C50 by Friday. So I just put in an order for the C50 to try to get it in my hands as quickly as I can. But I ain't making no final decisions. But ask me on Friday. I might have an answer for you. Don't think Sony's coming down on that price. Their market is their market, and when you're in their ecosystem, you're buying within the space. Their competition only matters when entering the market. Yeah, that might be true. Y'all think Sony doesn't have an answer to these cameras? LOL. I think they already have the camera ready to go and was waiting for this moment. We should find out very soon. Hopefully. If Sony's got something, they better drop it at Condo. They got all the creators there. Drop it at Condo. I currently have the R5 and the R6 Mark II. Should I go with the R5C and C50? I don't think so. I think having a dedicated mirrorless camera is probably better if you need a photography camera. I think the R5C is great. It's a great photography camera. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, if you're going to run both of them, yeah, that might be a good deal. I mean, obviously, you're spending a lot of money making those upgrades. But, yeah, that sounds like a really good deal, actually. All the C50 footage I've seen looks jittery AF. Yeah, it's because it doesn't have IBIS. And if you use it with cinema lenses, I think you're going to run into that problem. Does the C50 beat the Nosmo? Live comparison on Friday. If I had the C50, I would do a live comparison against the C50 and the Nosmo Pocket. C-Log 2 and the battery can be used in the R5C. Yeah, C-Log 2 and the battery can be used in the R5C will be an update. I don't know if the power thing can be updated. Sure, the R5C is $1,500, but guys, the Lumix S9 is $1,100. Oh, Andrew, you're wild. Bill says, if Sony announces an FX3 II tomorrow, Brandon's canceling that C50 order. I don't know, dog. The E-mount is so tough. I'll tell you this. What would have to happen is the FX3 II would have to be so amazing that I would need to be willing to get the FX3 Mark II. I would have to then take my Raptor and convert it over to a Z mount. I would then also have to sell all of my RF lenses, buy Sony lenses, so then I could use it on the FX3 Mark II, and I could use those Sony lenses on what will then be my Z mount Raptor X. Maybe Bill, you might have. Bill, hold on. Wait a minute. If there is an FX3 Mark II that outperforms the C50, I won't say that there's not a chance. I will say that because with the Z mount Raptor, I could buy Sony E lenses and run the FX3 Mark II and then run those same lenses on my Raptor X with the Z mount. Oh my gosh, Bill, you might have just opened up a whole new can of worms for me. Don't let Sony come out with an FX3 Mark II tomorrow. Don't let them drop an FX3 Mark II. If Sony came out with an FX3 Mark II tomorrow, there could be an upgrade path for me. Bro. Ooh. Bill, you might have messed up my whole... Man, don't let Sony do this. It'll mess up my whole week, because then my brain's going to hurt for the rest of the day going forward. Giovanni says, I've been no new camera all of 2025, and I've been sticking it out, but dang, do I have some gas. Bro, man. I would say right now, if you want to put in a pre-order for something, you could put in pre-orders. But by the end of the week, hopefully everybody does what they're supposed to do. I hope everybody drops what they're going to drop this week, just so we can all start making decisions by Friday. C50 open gate, nice, but only in 7K. I would need to upgrade my MacBook Pro another $3,000 to $4,000. You know what? That is a big issue. I do wish that Canon did not make the open gate work the way that they did. Like, I personally am still a fan of the way Lumix is handling open gate. They, in my opinion, still have the best use case and workflow for open gate. Even like with the S1 II, the ability to do open gate at 60 frames a second, even though you have to drop down to 5.1K, you at least have the option. That I really wish we had. I hope they do just to mess with Man, if Sony drop an FX3 Mark II, bro, we are done for. Brandon Talbot says they won't. They'll call it an FX4. Bro, let them come out with an FX3 successor. It'll jack up my whole week. I can't handle it. Internal NDs, open gate, and add an SDI port to the FX3 2 or FX3 Mini. Bro, if Sony came out with an FX3 or an FX3 Mark II or an FX4 and it had internal ND, open gate, and an SDI port on it, bro, I would probably cancel my C50 order. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That would make me cancel my C50 order. What would actually need to change? What would you actually need to call it an upgrade to the FX3? Look, I think if it goes up to 6K, I think if it had SDI on it, I think if they upgraded the memory cards to CF Express Type B, that would be a worthy upgrade. I think if it had open gate, that would be huge as well. They did just add anamorphic support, so I love that. And if they could do 32-bit float internal, that would be an amazing upgrade to an FX3. Call it an FX4, call it an FX3 Mark II. It is what it is. But we have some problems right now. I just saw Brandon developing a nasty case of gas in real time. Bro, seriously. Going Z-mount and E-mount glass would be a killer move. You could also use Nikon glass. Yeah. I know that. But man, gosh, that would be... Oh, it'd be such an upgrade. It'd be such an upgrade process. I'd have to sell so much stuff to try to get to that point. Sorry, my phone will not stop. My phone will just straight up not stop at all. Sorry, yeah, my phone was just blowing up nonstop. All right, let's see. A C25 APS-C version of the C50? I mean, I think if the C50 sells well enough, maybe. But I don't know. Has Canon ever put a crop sensor in any of their cinema cameras ever? Like, have they ever put a Super 35 sensor in a single camera? I'm trying to think. C200, the R5C, the C300, C500, the C80. Oh, I guess the C70. The C70 was Super 35. So, I mean, maybe. FX3 Mark II with open gate, 60K 60 internal B-roll. They are good for the next 5 years. Ooh, maybe. A Leica M11 makes me think less about all these new cameras dropping. Yeah. Don't want to glaze Sony, but an A7 IV could be a better buy than a C50 for some people. I think for most people, SCM Films, I think an A7 IV, even the R6 Mark II, and whatever they've been rumoring as the R6 Mark III is probably going to be better for more people. I mean, the C50 is for a very specific group of people. Okay. Hold on, I gotta text somebody. All right, so let's keep going. We sounds like a personal problem. Okay, Mr. Camera Junkie. Now it's just a personal problem. Okay, y'all need to stop. Hey y'all, if y'all are fans of my boy, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But if y'all are fans of my boy, I need y'all to chill. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. We need y'all to chill. Yeah, we need y'all to chill. All right. Let's see. This week goes crazy. Agent J is nowhere to be seen. bro. He will be back on Friday, I'm sure, with so many opinions. Yeah. It's interesting that the C50 has better dynamic range in Super 35, according to Canon, on par with the C70. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about the having more dynamic range. I'm not sure if that's just like they're doing like some type of computational thing or whatever. But yeah, they gotta figure it out. What's going on? Logan, he said, Brandon, we might need some mods in here, bro, for real. Logan, have I not? Logan, actually, do me a favor, Logan, hit me up on IG, and I'm gonna make you a moderator on the channel. I thought I did before, but if I haven't, I need to do that. I'll make you a moderator on the channel. Let's see. Go ahead and recycle the old. But yeah, so what's up, Mac? Good to see you in here, bro. Yeah, man. So we've just been talking through all these new cameras. Such a crazy release. Such a crazy release. I'm not really sure how we expected to see so much going down today. We really are living in the golden age of cameras, which I'm happy, because last year I thought we were done. I thought last year we had peaked, honestly. I thought we had fully peaked, but we haven't. We still cruising. Things are still going well in the camera space. New cameras are coming out. Bangers are coming out. So, it looks like the camera space is still alive and well. People are still, dropping great cameras. What up, Brandon Talbot? Yeah. I'll let you know in the future. Brandon Talbot, I'll hit you up and I'll let you know. What we're talking about. I'm actually go in. If you are somebody who's been rocking with the channel for a while, seriously been rocking with the channel for a while, I would love to extend the offer to make you a moderator when we go live. And if you know who you are, and you know who's been watching the stream, and y'all know if I'm gonna trust you or not to be a moderator. So don't be just requesting just for the heck of it. But if you are down to potentially help moderate this stream, I would love to help make some of you guys some moderators, because yeah, we definitely need to put some moderators in here. Let's see if I can get a few. Let's see. Brandon, do you need another mod? Yeah. Let's get some moderators in here. Let's see if I can find you guys. Dang, YouTube is not the easiest for doing that kind of stuff. All right, so boom. I just made Colton one. And Giovanni, I'm about to make you a moderator as well. And then I'll also make you one as well, Ezreal. Boom, Giovanni, I just made you one. And then Ezreal, I'm going to make you a moderator as well. And Logan. Hold on one second. Ezreal, I'm trying to find your dang thing on here. Ezreal, I need you to chat so I can make you one. Ezreal, say something in the chat so that way I can make you a moderator. Boom, there you are. Boom, and then Logan Webb. Two B's. Dang, Logan, why your name don't just pull up your deal? All right, Logan, I think I'm gonna have to find your specific YouTube channel later and then make you a moderator. But I'll make you a moderator for sure before Friday. All right, cool. All right, so I just made a few more moderators. Chat, I need y'all to help. Y'all know what to look for, what stuff to get rid of. But yo, yeah, it's I think this week has been insane. I think we got more stuff on the horizon coming up really, really soon. And personally, I'm legit excited for what's coming. I'm excited about what is already dropped. I'm excited for the camera industry. I'm excited to see like who's going to be dropping new cameras, if DJI gets into the mix, if Canon's got anything else to drop. Also, the C50's got me excited. The fact that Red dropped another camera this year, and I did not expect that to happen at all. The iPhone's looking dope. So yeah, and the week is just getting started. Justin said it. The week is just getting started. So it's definitely if you are Mark says, you trust me? Maybe when we're gaming. But no, like if you shoot video right now and you've been thinking about getting a camera or you've been trying to look for the perfect camera, like genuinely, there is no excuse today. There is no excuse today to not be creating what you want to make. There are so many different cameras on the market, and I'm not one of those people that say, you know, oh, I shoot Red, so you got to shoot Red, or oh, I shoot Canon, or oh, I shoot Nikon, or oh, I shoot Lumix, because those are the brands that I currently have like in this office. Blackmagic, I got Blackmagic in the office right now, right? Like, I'm not one of those people that says like, oh, because I'm a certain brand, you got to shoot the same brand as me if your content has to be good. I say go find the camera that allows you to create what you want to create and start making stuff, because literally there is no excuse today. There is no excuse today. Whatever story you want to tell, whatever content you want to make, whatever films you want to make, like the gear is out there now. And they're making it more and more affordable. And they're like, it's a weird paradigm switch where the gear is getting better and the prices are getting lower. What are we talking about? How can we be upset in this market? You know what I mean? Like, how can you be upset in this market when the gear is getting better, but the prices are coming down? Like, we could fight about brands, and I get it. It's fun. But, like, what are we talking about? So, yeah, Mount Zion, story is king. Story is king in today's work. Like, that's all that matters. Rainey says, no excuses whatsoever. Zero excuses. Zero excuses. Whatever camera you have is good enough just to make better content. Let's stop making these companies rich. Well, I made Canon a little bit richer today. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm with you. I'm with the sentiment, bro. I'm with the sentiment. I'm with the sentiment. Like, I mean, we all got gas. We know what it is. Gear acquisition syndrome. We got it. But let's also keep making what we need to make. You know, let's lock in. Omni says C50 is already a loser. Maybe Nikon can do it. FX3 still same price for a reason. C50 with no IBIS and the old R5C autofocus. Why in 2025? Look, to each his own. I think the price is great. And I think the C50 is right in line. No IBIS. I understand why. But in the camera of its size, I kind of wish it was there. But I think if you're using Canon lenses, you should be okay. Prices are lower even with tariffs. I know. I was expecting because of tariffs, the R5C was going to come in higher. I just shot a whole doc on the iPhone 16's. Excuses are for the weak. Shots fired. Oh my gosh. Jarrell gonna trade up his KX for the VXE? Nah, I don't see that happening. Honestly, the Komodo X is kind of, I mean, unless you really need full frame, the KX is dope. Like, it is just dope. Tim says, Christopher Nolan just wrapped filming the Odyssey with the new IMAX camera, so you should make your next project with those IMAX cams. You know what? Maybe I will. I'll just call up Chris. I mean, that's what I call him. I'll just call up Chris and be like, yo, hey, let me get those IMAXs for a little bit. I just need them for my next YouTube video. if story is all that matters, why do you need open gate, 6K, etc.? It does matter. What do you mean? I never said gear doesn't matter. Hold on. Let's get it twisted. I am not the person that's going to tell you that gear doesn't matter. And I'm probably a really bad influence to a lot of y'all. I already know what it is. I know my disease. I got it. And I'm contagious. And I'm going around giving it away. All right? So I know I am not good for you guys. But story is still what matters. FX32 will just be the FX3. Keeping Sony's line to reuse the same parts. They can't do that, Lex. They can't do that. That would be diabolical. That would be diabolical. I thought I was overgassed a few weeks ago, and here I am again. Carlos, I was in the same boat. I'm still using my Pocket 4K. You know what? If I cut to the wide camera, that's the Pocket 4K. So, look, I ain't mad at you. The Pocket 4K still works. Still gets the job done. Bill says, hot take, iPhones are more cinematic than most professional cameras. That is a hot take. I'm going to give you that. That's a hot take. That's a dirty take. You should not say that. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous take to have. That's hot. I'm shooting vertical event recap and impact the video on my Samsung S24. Buying an iPhone Pro Max 16 in a few months for ProRes. Dude, you should definitely go look at the 17. The 17 now has ProRes RAW, which is, I feel like is a lot for an iPhone, but I'm kind of a sucker for getting more out of an iPhone because I use my iPhone a lot, especially the new 8 times camera that is a 200 millimeter like equivalent on an iPhone. Like, because my son plays baseball, I didn't get the 16. I'm still rocking my 15 Pro. I said that in my review. I didn't think I needed to go to the 16. I'm probably going to get the 17 because my son plays baseball and I want that 200 millimeters. Hey, I'm a fan of Sony and Canon. You're absolutely right. There's no hate. Well, maybe for Nikon ultimately. It's about the camera and what best suits your storytelling. I love the slight shade that we all love to throw to each brand. And I love that this show allows you to do whatever you want. Rachel says, I'm pretty sure I caught it from you. Makes me sick. Sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm contagious. All right. Look, don't watch this show if you don't want to hear about more gear that's coming out. All right. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know what it's all about. Let's see. ProRes RAW for events is mega overkill. Yeah. I'm not saying I would do that, but he said he was going to buy a 16. So I'm saying you could buy a 17 and have that as an option. The low light scenes of the Apple event all shot in iPhone is impressive. Yeah, that was super impressive. I didn't even really think about it because they did a lot of those shoots outside of the Chicago store. And the fact that was all low light and it was super clean. That is nutty actually. iPhones are truly next level now. That's wild. Yeah, iPhones are getting insane. I'd say new gear helps motivate some people to do new projects. I'm some people. You know what? I kind of agree with you. Sometimes getting a new camera inspires you to just go out and play. The iPhone is the hero release of the day. ProRes RAW is insane. I have the worst gas I've ever had before. Yeah, Brandon, that's because you've been watching this show a lot lately. Thanks. Shout out for the new subscription that just came through. Shout out for subscribing to the new channel. This show has made me second guess selling my C70. Still keeping my pre-order though. C70 is good. C70 is a great camera. Is that a button press? Oh, you're right. Rachel is here. That is a button press. Hopefully for y'all who don't know what we do up in here.
I don't like men no more. I said I like women.
Shout out to the ladies who also love camera gear. Shout out to them. 2 terabyte iPhone release. So I will never spend that much on an iPhone. I'm going to just keep it real with you. I will never spend that much money on an iPhone. But it is cool that it exists. I could see if you were buying an iPhone specifically to shoot a film, Oh, well, I wonder if the ProRes RAW can be recorded internally. I doubt it because ProRes can't even be recorded internally. I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to look at it. Giovanni, is that a woman in the chat? Y'all are crazy. Hot take: Brandon gets the Scorp Mini 3 phone gimbal for the fan and quarter battery for memory, or quarter battery or memory. I definitely want to get a Pro. I don't think I'm getting. I mean, I don't. I have iPhone gimbals and I never use them. Like I just don't. Does great lighting actually mean great low light though? You know, so the only reason why I say it is still great low light recording on the iPhone is because they still had a lot of stuff that was like playing in the back. In the blacks. Like if you look at the shot from the event, there was one shot in particular where the store was behind him and you could see the Chicago, what is that, river? I'm not sure. I guess it's called Chicago River. The river in the background. And you could see light dancing on that. You could even see cars going in the background. And it looked super clean. So that's why I say it has good low light. Now, chances are they had a professional colorist and they shot ProRes RAW and, you know, they were able to denoise it and all those things. But still, the fact that they got that out of the iPhone, still pretty crazy. I never owned an iPhone ever, thinking this will be the year I try one. If you're getting it for video, it's pretty dope. I'm not a fan of iPhones, but the camera is fire. Pre-ordered the C50, will go great with my EF RF system, including the R5 F2 28-70. Totally skipped the Apple event. There was so much news today. Hot take: those who can't color or use ProRes are directors of photography. They are barely a cam op. Those who can't color or use ProRes are directors of photography. And they are barely a cam op. That is a pretty hot take. That's almost disrespectful. Because I mean, I don't color that well, but I shoot, so I don't know. Oh, I see people are like, please God, when are they dropping the Pixes? Those Apple scenes look a little funny. There has to be some major post-production going on. I would imagine there is. I haven't had money for a new camera since the 90D, but definitely saving for the C50. The C70 is Canon's best camera. That sensor is magic. People say that. The C70 is something about that DGO sensor. People are obsessed with it. Needs the 2 terabyte for the ProRes RAW, but maybe the 2 people that will use it for that. You know, I don't know if they can do the ProRes RAW internal. Somebody let me know if they can do that. Debating on selling my R5C and going straight to the VXE. Ooh, that's a big jump. I don't know if I can give that advice, but I don't think you'll be upset if you do it. I have a 256 gig iPhone 16 Pro and I only have used 100 gigs on it. 2 terabytes is overkill. What is the price of the new iPhone? Same price as the last iPhone. If Apple made their own interchangeable camera, what would you want it to have? Could it compete? First off, could it compete? 100%. I have actually said that I think Apple should buy Ari. If anybody should buy Ari, in my opinion, it should be Apple. And then they can take all that tech from Ari and bring that over to the iPhone, and that would be absolutely killer. Now, I think because of what Apple does, they're either going to stay mobile friendly or they're going to go high end. I don't see them making a consumer level style camera. I see them partnering with companies like Blackmagic and like they did with Canon for their VR like lenses and stuff to like create images for the VR headset. But if I'm Apple, I'm going high end. We're buying Ari and then we're using Ari cameras on all of our shows and all of our movies that we make for Apple TV Plus. And now that they're actually releasing stuff theatrically, I think that's the route that Apple was going to take if it comes to them jumping into the camera market. I am, and I'm going to upgrade to the 11 Pro Max. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm right there. It is for the ProRes RAW. So maybe you can do the ProRes RAW internal. Maybe ProRes RAW internal at 24 frames a second, but maybe not at 60. Maybe that's what it is. Hot take, Brandon, you don't know the Blackmagic camera app ProRes internal is available. Why are you putting hot take? I'll read your comment if you don't put hot take. That's not really a hot take. I do know that the Blackmagic camera app does have ProRes internal, and it has different flavors of ProRes. When I'm using my iPhone, I'm just going to use typically the actual camera app. I'm not going to go download another app on my phone unless I'm making a specific video with my iPhone and there's a little bit more intention there. Because most of the time, if I'm going to shoot something that I'm going to care that much about, I'm probably going to use a more traditional camera. That said, the reason why I normally use a phone in some of those circumstances is specifically because I am using a phone because I want to use the phone to like push it or test it or something along those lines. I'm using it for a creative reason, but most of the time I'm just going to use a regular camera. Recently bought the Lumix S5 for $700, and that camera is awesome. It really is. Please God, when are they going to drop the Pixis 12K? They dropped it. It's just people can't get it. OpenGate coming to the C400 in December, according to the C80. According to Canon, C80 no OpenGate because they need to differentiate and not hurt the C50 sales. I think it also has to do with the memory card. I think the C400 can get OpenGate because it does use the CF Express Type B cards. I don't think the C80 can get it because, as we've seen with the OpenGate, the file sizes are massive, and I don't think you can push that to the SD cards. I will say it's been awesome day for a dedicated photo/video industry as a whole. I'm right there with you. Live translation on the AirPod Pro is dope. I saw that being marketed, but I haven't actually looked at it. Pixis 12K got an update from B&H today. They said end of October. Oh, there we go. So you're not waiting indefinitely now. Mount Zion says, I need it. I'm selling the farm for that one. End of October is nuts. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Doc says, I got the Orange Pro Max 2 terabyte. I use my phone, so no brainer. 2 terabytes still just feels like so much. Like if you're shooting ProRes RAW, maybe, but like, gosh, 2 terabytes just feels like so much. Not sure if this was brought up already, but did anyone hear the Apple event that they mentioned Blackmagic a couple of times? Incoming cinema camera from Apple and Blackmagic? No, I just know that Apple primarily uses Blackmagic as their go-to for their editor, which is funny because they have Final Cut. They've said this a couple times on their different press releases that they use Resolve, or they'll talk about how quick something exports using Resolve, or that you can professionally color grade iPhone footage using Resolve. So they have obviously a good working relationship, but I don't see a camera coming from Apple and Blackmagic. I don't think Blackmagic needs Apple when it comes to the camera space. It's not like Apple's making full frame sensors or anything like that. Mount Zion says Apple needs to buy Blackmagic since Blackmagic is helping them with the Vision Pro. I don't know if Blackmagic would want to sell. That seems like an unnecessary sell. Blackmagic's doing fine. Why would Apple do that if they can just license and work with others on hardware? Why take the hardware overhead to compete? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but Ari's for sale. So if you can buy them at a discount price, like go for it. Like you could use the tech, you could use the cameras. Makes sense to me. Apple needs to buy Motion VFX and drop all that stuff in Final Cut Pro. I agree with you. And a retailer in Canada told me pre-orders on the Pixis 12K L was due end of September. I think it's going to just depend on who gets what when. But I think Blackmagic is trying to get them out as quickly as possible, obviously. The more I think about it, the Nikon ZR is basically the Canon R50V. I don't know why you'd say that. We don't know what the ZR is. It's feeling like Apple chose their partner in Blackmagic. It makes sense. Again, Apple needs to buy Blackmagic. Y'all really want Apple to buy Blackmagic. That orange with the smoke case is gonna look fire. I personally think that I personally feel like the blue, like I'm probably gonna go with the blue one, Mr. Camera Junkie, with the new iPhone. I really like blue. I think my current, so I have I have the 15 Pro, and I went with the blue. Y'all can kind of see it right there. So I really love the blue. So I'm gonna when I upgrade, I'm definitely gonna try to snag that blue one. But the orange does look pretty fire. Is the C70 better than the C50? I think it just depends on what your use case is. It definitely can be because it has the built-in ND. It has that DGO sensor. But you are talking about full frame versus Super 35, and you got open gate. So I think it's just different tools for different jobs. All right. I'm about to have to get ready to wrap this up, so I'm going to blitz down to the bottom real quick. Any last minute questions? I'm going to try to go through, especially those of you guys who are members. I'll try to get to you guys' questions. But if you're not a member, consider becoming one, or put a little Q, a little colon, because I got to get to some other stuff. Because tomorrow I got another busy day. I'll be live again tomorrow too, most likely. So, Brandon, who do you think company-wise will possibly win the free for all? Win the free for all this fall? I think it's too early to call it, Colton. I really do. I think it's too early to call it. Yeah, I think it's too early to call just yet. But it's definitely heating up. Yeah, let's just go with that. I'm going to say it's too early to call, but it's definitely heating up. Question, was there any info on the XE's autofocus? I don't think there was any info specifically, but from my understanding is it should work identical to what is already there. So that's my thought. Go live from the new office again. This is the new office. What are you talking about? Go live from the new... This is the new office. I could go to the wide camera, but I don't use the wide camera because Jarrell's not here, and it's all framed up for that. So this is the new office. If you're talking about the YouTube room in there that I just finished up, it's only set up to record video, but I guess I could try. Maybe tomorrow we'll try that just to switch it up. We'll go live from the YouTube office. Do you think the C50 is better than the KX? Image-wise, no, I don't. But functionality-wise, it does give you just a little bit more options. Are you disappointed with the C50, with what the C50 ended up being compared to the rumors? No, in fact, I actually think the C50 is better than what the rumors said they were going to be. So that's just been my opinion on that. Question. Sorry, I got to pre-read some of these questions. Question, what's wrong with the Cinema 6K and the Pixis 6K? I don't think there's anything wrong with those cameras. And in fact, this camera that you're seeing me shoot on right now, that's the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K. So if you think this image looks okay, I'm being filmed on one right now. Let's see. Any other questions? Doc says, I'm a hardcore Sony dude, and the C50 is sexy as hell. I'd cop. Yeah. So it's gonna be a very interesting time. I am super excited. I'm super excited to be seeing what's going on. He says, ooh, so you're using all Blackmagic for the studio? A win is a win. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with Blackmagic right now. I've openly said this before. We're using Blackmagic for the live stream. We got two 6Ks, cinema cameras, and we got a 4K. That's what we run right now. So, yeah, we're super excited right now with what we currently have. That's working. I'm super excited about this week. Honestly, thank y'all so much for rocking with me on the live stream today. This has been so much fun. I'll be back most likely tomorrow. I'll be most likely back tomorrow, and we will go live. We'll hang out. We'll chit-chat a little bit more. I got some other stuff I got to get done this evening, or else I would keep streaming. Maybe there's a chance that I might pop back on to like game or something like that. Who knows? But if you haven't, do me a huge favor. One, hit that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, I would really love it as well if you could also hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to have multiple live streams coming out. The goal now is to live stream way more. So if you enjoy these live streams, you enjoy talking, hanging out with other creators, hanging out in the chat, having a good time, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, so that way you guys can be notified whenever we go live. But man, it has been a crazy day. Our Canon C50, we got the Nikon, no, we got the red, what is it? Raptor V. These letters are gonna drive me crazy. My brain is tripping out. The Raptor XE, and then we got the iPhone 17 Pro Max with 348 megapixel cameras. I'm fighting for my life here, trying to remember all this stuff. So, thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. We've been having a great time hanging out with you, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll go live again. We'll keep hanging out. It's been a blast. Yeah, it's been a blast. So, see you guys tomorrow. Y'all enjoy it, and yeah, y'all have been real. Peace out, y'all.